So I have a question for you, if that's fine.
Okay.
I'd like to start off. My name is Seth, by the way. But is there one piece of advice, as the founder of Reebok, you sold it for a couple $1 billion, that you would give a young entrepreneur like myself? What would that piece of advice be?
My best advice to anybody, irrespective of what you're doing, is to make sure you have fun.
Okay.
Yeah? Make sure you have fun, because if you're not having fun, it's going to be tough. If
Yeah.
you're having fun, you can stand all the problems. And believe me, there'll be problems. There'll be things
Yeah.
that happen. And the other thing is that when you get the problems or challenges, whatever you want to call them, you'll soon find out that those are an opportunity. The
Mm,
challenges become an opportunity. With Reebok, we had to change our name. First, we were only in business for 18 months, and we found we couldn't register Mercury, which was the name we'd chosen. So we had to find a new one, which we did. We found Reebok. And I just didn't like the fact that our silhouette was 2 stripes and a T-bar. They
mm,
thought it conflicted with the 3 stripes.
mm.
Another problem, another challenge, another opportunity, because we ended up with the Vector as our silhouette, and we like that better. So think of problems as being opportunities. They're
Wow.
fun and really enjoy problems. They
Yeah.
challenge and they
They're
challenge you.
opportunities.
They're opportunities. That's it.
Amazing.
So that's
I love
my
it.
advice.
Joe, my question to you is we've been working hard over the past few years, really working on building our team. And I've found that people are the most unpredictable. And so I'm curious to what your biggest contributing, factor to success was when building your team at Reebok.
Well, I guess we were in a very fortunate business. We were in athletics, we were in sport, and when we talk about building a winning culture, we had athletes who were winning, and we had people joining the business. In fact, we very rarely had to go outside and try and find somebody. They would come to us and say, "Can I have a job?" Most of these part of an athletic club. Most of these, because athletic clubs, they have builders, joiners, engineers, electricians, all sorts of people. And but the one fun pleasure that they have in life is to go to the track, racing, doing whatever. So it's people who love the business that you're in. And if it's marketing that seems to be on your cap, then marketing is a very interesting thing to be in. So they've got to be interested in marketing. They've got to be optimists. They've got to
Mm,
want. And if they want, rather than they're saying, uh, do I get a month off for holidays and all, instead of all the little bits of perks, they've got to be working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and not worry about that.
mm.
Not that you'd want them to do that, but they're so happy to turn up and so happy to be part. That's the best way. I hated egos. Leave your
Mm.
ego outside, because egos are not good for a business. You've got to work as a team. And I think now we have a lot of hybrid working, where partially at home and then come into the office. You need people who will come in and sit down and just throw something around, just play with ideas. So you have to have that. But hybrid working is quite nice. Fortunately, I'd moved on from the business when we got to hybrid working. I only knew I only knew the sort of 7 o'clock in the morning till 7 o'clock at night. But which
It's changed a little bit.
yeah, it is.
Ahmed is in the
So
waiting room. Did you want me to go ahead and let him in?
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
So my next question, just while Hamid is getting in here, was there you had a lot of opportunities in front of you with Reebok, I'm guessing. How did you prioritize, pursuing one opportunity over another? What was your thought process behind that?
Well, I hate to say what was easiest, but what was easiest was always the best to do. Even though you shouldn't do what is easiest, you should do what works, what is best for your company. Um, but we usually found that people who were so eager, people who wanted to wear your product, happy to wear your product, rather than how many dollars does it take to get you to wear our product? If people wanted it, it's the same with building your team. It's also building your influencers. Building your influencers has to be get the right people, the people that will always be talking about your team, always be part of that. They're the fun ones. And I mean, in our business, in a sports business, it's pretty expensive now. It didn't used to be. We could get some really top athletes when you go back to the 1970s. We used to get really top athletes for little or no money. But that was great. I mean, we used to probably not always look for the top athletes. What we used to do, thinking about sort of late 60s and early 70s and up to the every major city in Europe, certainly, and we can think of New York, Boston, they always had a marathon. And a marathon, and it attracts thousands of people. And we invented, or we discovered, or we made Reebok Racing Club. Reebok Racing Club, we decided, because so many of these people who are running are not affiliated to any club. They're just running. And we had a lot of good runners, and we made our own club. And for the good runners, good ones, we gave them the kit. So it was a vest with Reebok Racing Club on it. We gave them the shoes. And then we said, look, guys, we know you're not going to win this marathon, but can you get out front and stay up front as long as you can do? Because everything was televised. And so we would probably have 6 out of the first 10 runners for 20.
All wearing Reebok.
All wearing Reebok. All with
Wow.
Reebok.
That's really smart. So, right at the start of the race, you have those first 6 runners all promoting you.
That's right. All up front there on television. So it's things like that, that those are the sort of people that the influences that you need. It's not always a big name, but there are different ways of influencing. Big names, I suppose, but Shaq came on after I stepped back, Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq came on, and that was a big name for us.
Very big. Yeah. Hamid, did you have a question? Oh.
Nope. I guess my question, Joe, would be, me and Seth, I mean, we've been doing marketing for the last 5 years, and I'm just curious, like, obviously marketing is a word that could mean so many things. And so I guess just briefly, like, what would you say, was the biggest factors to your success in marketing? I guess if you could like explain it in like a 60-second elevator pitch.
Well, I guess for us is having VizTech. VizTech is, footwear is low technology. It's not high technology. We're not there, but we sort of created different techs, different things. But the one that really hit was pump. When we got pump, that sort of tech is probably the best marketing you can get. In this market, I don't know if you know they've got a different soul. It's a different vision. Okay. And so if you bring a different vision, then, that for us is good marketing.
Interesting. Something that separates you.
Yeah.
Looks like Hamid back.
Everybody's influencing these days. We had musicians, we had rappers, we had film stars, whatever. And that is a good way of marketing your product, influencers. But it's good to do one or two other things, and certainly if you can do some technical changes, something different. It depends. I mean, you're in marketing, but of course, marketing furniture as against marketing sports footwear is different.
It's definitely the approach is different for every industry.
Yeah.
So I had a question about mentorship. How did you find mentorship attributed to your success? Did you invest in it? What did that look like for you?
Well, there's another word I can give you, and that is stress. Okay. We didn't know stress. We didn't know mentorship. If you want to go back to the early 60s, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Business has changed so much. Now you can. We were mentored, yes. I mean, but we didn't realize that. there were people there, you ask a question and they'll give you the answer for free.
Yeah.
and, and they'll say, can I help you as well for free? So mentorship wasn't there. It's something you had to pick up. And just in my grandfather's day, in 1904, he got 3 world records in his shoes because he gave his shoes to the best runner in the field. He got 3 world records. He didn't know the word mentor, influencer. He didn't know that. And so these words come with time, and mentorship comes with time. We got mentors. We got a guy who used to give me machinery. I used to want to buy it off him, and he said, no, just give it me back when you finish with it. And you're on a shoe production line. How do you give it back? So and these guys, they just help. So mentorship is it's important in today's business life, and we mentor 2 or 3 people, but it's and it's good. We enjoy it.
And you
Joe,
found that
you
it was never a paid thing? Oh, sorry, Nick, you go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to say, like you mentioned, people weren't charging thousands of dollars. Like Seth and myself, we've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, from sales training to marketing training to technology. And we're at a point now where we're trying to figure out who's just trying to take our money, because this is a business world, and who actually wants to help us. And obviously we need the information to be successful, but how would you decipher for who we should spend that money with? Because I understand money buys time, it buys a lot of things, but how can we effectively do that without wasting our money, if that makes sense?
Well, it's probably fine environmental. JT Fox, I don't know if you've heard of JT Fox.
Oh, JT Fox is great.
Yeah. He's our best friend. We do things with JT Fox, and that guy is just energy. He just explodes. He's just energy, and he'll tell it you straight. If he likes what you're doing, he'll help. If he won't, he'll say, "Forget it. Don't ask me." And there's no smooth edges, should I say, on JT Fox. He's very sort of this or is that. So you want people who will tell you something and not just bullshit you, not just sort of try to talk you around saying, no, it's will do. Or even say, I don't know. He would say that to you. But this guy usually is able to look at what your business is and say, are you doing this? Are you doing that? And so you need somebody who will be very straight with you. Look up JT Fox and maybe attend one of his.
Got to you from JT Fox.
He's what?
They call that the JT Fox.
Yeah, I met you in Chicago.
Yeah. So my assistant, yes, is telling me that you obviously.
That's where we came from.
That's where you came from. Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay.
So my last question to finish this off, obviously your time's super valuable, Joe, would be how much did the competition between the other shoe companies that you were going against, like Nike and Adidas, how much did that push you with Reebok to innovate and just push the business forward?
Well, when we started, Jeff and myself, we didn't have any money. So we had to look for white space. White space was something so valuable to us. Nike went in at the beginning, but Adidas were in, and they'd taken soccer. Adidas had taken soccer, and we couldn't go into soccer. It was just too expensive. So we looked for other things. We have a sport, which is rugby league. Rugby league is north of England, where we were. They were within 50 miles of us, and we could go there. Cross-country running, orienteering, things that Adidas probably hadn't heard of. But we went there. So we went to spaces. And, of course, the big one we got in America was aerobics. And we found aerobics. Adidas, Nike, they weren't interested. It was women. It was like, this won't happen. But we pivoted from being a running company to a woman's company. And that made the difference. And the woman loves us. With a lot of challenges going through finance was a challenge, and then production was a challenge. But we went from 9 million to 900 million with women in 4 years. In 4 years, we did that.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time, Joe. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's great that, and forgive me for JT Fox. That you know,
No worries.
Oh, no worries.